My name is Kent, and I am the family ministry pastor at Emmanuel Evangelical Free Church in Steinbach, Manitoba. And I am just talking to you briefly about something called LifeGroup. And we have life groups at our church, but specifically, I'm talking about a life group for parents. And a life group is a Bible-based discipleship environment that's led by a leader, supported by a coach who helps that leader. And that the group is going to go through 4 things. And the cool thing is, as we talk about these 4 things, we're doing that as a group of parents in this case. And there's different kinds of groups, so you don't have to go to a parenting group. But if you are a parent and would be interested in kind of coming to a group like this, where there's sort of a focus on parenting as well as these other 4 actions, we would sure encourage you to consider it. And we're just getting started this fall with starting up in September, so 2019. So that's kind of when this video is being made. And the idea of praying is just this idea of, when we get together as a group, we're just acknowledging that we need God to help us. And so it's not that we can get through life alone. And you don't have to pray out loud, but we do give opportunity for that. And some people will pray, and it's great to pray for our kids and concerns that we have, and just for each other as parents. The idea of reaching in our life groups, and all the groups at Emmanuel are kind of focusing on these actions, is just this idea that not everybody has a place to hear about Jesus or to talk about their life. And so it's just this idea of this empty chair that would be open to new people. And having an empty chair at our group is important. I'm thinking about who needs to come to be part of the group, who could we invite, who would benefit from hearing about Jesus and being part of a community like this. And then the care part is actually just this kind of conversation kind of part of listening to each other, of talking to one another. If someone were to be at the hospital, I think that's kind of where a life group can kind of kick in and help, and just being there for each other and listening to each other and supporting one another. And then the empowering bit is, I just think of it as leadership or ministry or kind of getting involved. And these are my geese, and it could be being a leader, but it also could be something leading in a different way, which might be even just like making cupcakes for everybody, or maybe you're going to come to a group and you're going to read the Bible verses out loud that day, or set up the room, or lead the opening activity or discussion. It's just this idea of kind of not just sitting there like a lump, but just this idea of kind of being involved. And so prayer and this idea of reach and care and empower, all the groups in Emmanuel life groups are working on those distinct actions. And what's cool about the life group for parents is, along with that, we're also just talking about parenting and some of the challenges and opportunities. And one of the big messages is that I benefited from being in a group last year that met every week, was just that I'm not alone, and it's just nice to hear from other people growing in their Christian life, but also thinking about how their family can grow and how they can grow as a parent. And at Emmanuel, one of the things that we're trying to be is orange, and I'll just explain that visually here just quickly. The red represents the family, and obviously the family is created by God to help kids come to know God, Jesus, and to have a faith. And the yellow represents the church. The Bible talks about the church being the light of the world. And what we're saying at Emmanuel is what we're trying to do with a group like this even is that when these 2 colors are combined, it makes orange. And so if you think of us kind of working toward orange, the idea would be is that if red is the family, and it's kind of this representing kind of this love of the home, where you're trying to shape your kid's faith, and this is, every Christian parent gets that you're supposed to be doing that. And then the church is not like you just drop the kid off, but the Bible says the church is the light of the world, and there's things that we can do as a church to help kids grow, and parents equip their kids and that sort of thing. And so then this kind of sweet spot here would be this kind of this orange part, where I kind of think of it as being taking the family and the church combined and aligned, and that's kind of the vibe we're going for. And so with that in mind, that's kind of why we do the life group. And so if you're for parents, and if you're interested on the Wednesday night one, it's going to be 6:30 to 8 on Wednesdays, and we're starting that one on September 18th, and that's in the shack. And so that's an existing group, just so you know that there's probably people they'll be kind of in that group already, but we want to be open to new people as well. And then on the Thursday night, I'm really excited. This is kind of a new group that's starting on a new night, and this is going to be starting up on September 12th. That's a Thursday night during senior high youth, and that's also going to be at the church building. And then that to be determined as to what room that will be in, but that'll be during the senior high. This one's kind of during senior high, and this one, the Wednesday night, is during Awana. So you don't have to have kids in those programs to come. I want to be clear about that. But if you are a parent and you want to be in a life group for parents, these groups I think are planning to meet weekly. Would love to hear from you, or if you have any questions, let me know. If you're planning to come, please inform us so we can prepare for you. If you have any questions, and those of you that have been in the group before and from Wednesday nights, I'd love to hear from you as to what you like to study. I have some ideas, but we'll be talking about that at our first meetings. And I know the September 12th, the Thursday group, they're going to be starting with Parenting Beyond Your Capacity. It's a great book about just your role as a parent being primary, but also that a wise parent includes other people in the spiritual shaping of their kids' lives. So again, thank you for listening to this video, and let me know your comments and feedback. Kent.martins@eefc.ca